Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video of the Realism. Today we're going to be doing another video on Tankery. Yes, I keep on saying that I'm not going to do another video on Tankery, but many of you people love to watch my review videos on Tankery. Today, a lot of people have been requesting for a long time for me to re-review the Conqueror. And to be honest, what is there to review? It hasn't changed, really. It has no space armor on the turret. It has no improved stats. Basically, the Conqueror Mark II, it should be Conqueror Mark II, not the Conqueror, because people may confuse it with the Conqueror Mark I. Conqueror Mark I had the, if I'm correct, the 32-pounder gun, or the 94mm. The Conqueror Mark II, this uses a 120mm L1A, no, yeah, L1A1, sorry, my apologies. That fires APDS, or I think it's just normal AP, or something, I'm not so sure. Of course, if Greg put damage to about, like 580, then I would say, yeah, this thing fires Hesh. But it fires APDS, doesn't fire APCR, because the British didn't use APCR, they used APDS. I'm a piece into discard and Sabot. But I have to say, this tank, it's not particularly good. Turret is garbage. It is bad. It is bad turret. DPM is not as bad as before it was buffed. Yes, you heard me right. A buff to the Conqueror. It was only a DPM buff by 200 DPM. That's kind of sad and depressing that a tank that has a big impact in the game got one of the weakest buffs in the game. 343mm on the whole. Yeah, not many things are going to go through that. The only thing I can think that is going to go through this is probably the MBT-70. Now you can try with a leopard, but I don't think a lot of leopards are going to go through it. Now, let's compare the Conqueror to the E100. E100 has 2,000 DPMs. When the turret got changed, the DPM went from like, what was like 1600, or was it 1400? I thought it was quite low DPM. It got basically a 600 to 500 DPM buff. That was a huge buff. That was, well, people were shocked by how quick this 128mm KWK L44 reloaded. Or was it L50? I think it's an L55. My apologies, not L44. That's the 88mm long-barreled 88mm from the Tiger II. But the L55 reloads really quick. Really quick. In heavy tank standards. It's actually the quickest reloading 5-tier heavy tank in the game. No joke. This thing reloads pretty quick. The armor it's trash on this tank. The Conqueror may have good hull armor, toe armor, everything pens it. Everything pens this turret. The gun mantlet is 200. Turret is 152. 152 for a turret that's meant to be 343mm at the front. That's 100. Bear in mind, that's 152mm at the front of the turret. So, what you do is you go to the calculator. Then 152 divided by 2, and that's 76mm on the side of the turret and on the rear. So, how about this? 343 divided by 2 equals 171 on the side and rear of the hull. The gun mantlet, I'm not sure if it works for the gun mantlet, but the gun mantlet is 200 divided by 2 equals 100. So 100mm on the side of the gun mantlet. That's if it works like that. This is practically the worst heavy tank in the game. It is terrible. This cupola is your nemesis. It is terrible. You get penned every single time. Every single time. It doesn't matter what fighter you... A Comet... 50-50 really. I mean, it spawns a lot. Challenger... Again, just like the Comet, 50-50. Charioteer obviously is going to go right through it like hot knuckle bar. Sherman Firefly... struggle to pen. Everything that has less than 150mm of pen is going to, actually 140mm pen, my apologies, is actually going to struggle to pen front of the tank. Most likely going to spawn. But a lot of people don't realise that if you hit this bit, it seems to be weaker. I've had like a Panzer 3K. And yes, I'm clicking on tanks just to show you. Panzer 3K. Shoot this. And he penned it. Not once, not twice. 4 times he penned this. Aimed and he penned. Now you're probably thinking, well, Panzer 3K is a lot smaller than you. How can he aim up and hit that? He was up on a ridge like this, and he hit this 4 times. And penned, and did damage. That just shows how devastatingly weak the armor of this supposedly super heavy tank of the British is meant to be. It's weak. The gun is trash. It is bad. I mean, it's not as bad as when it had 1100 DPM. That was a lot. It had the worst DPM than some tier 3 and 2 tanks. Even the, if I'm correct, the Stuck 40 has a tier 1 has better DPM. Basically, some of these tanks at tier 1 show up the Conqueror. Make the Conqueror look stupid. The Conqueror is still stupid. It is still kind of crap, really. The problem is people have been asking. The Tankery Discord is. I don't even want to talk about it. About a year ago, it was a long time ago when I uploaded a review video of this tank. Before it was had like a minute buff. I called this tank a good sniper. Now I'm going to uncover what I've known, what I've realised, what I've noticed when playing this tank. before it was supposedly buffed, it had pretty good shell velocity. When it got DPM buff, I've noticed the shell velocity is pretty bad, pretty awful for a a high velocity 120mm L1A1 cannon, and it's quite appalling actually. But also, it's how can I explain it? The gun is what, about 60 calibers long? No, it's less than that, isn't it? It's about 40 calibers long. About that, 40, 50 calibers long. Which means that this thing has pretty good DPM, 259. That shows that it fires APDS, which is APDS is, very quick. It's fired from 120mm satchel charge. Well, it's not satchel charge, but it's like a charge behind it. The casing, of course, is 120mm, but the shell, if I'm correct, it's a 105mm. The APDS head is a 105. The Centurion Mark 7.1 price APDS is actually a 90mm APDS warhead. The charge and the casing is 105. Same thing for the Charioteer L7A1 and the Conqueror Mark II. Now some of you may be thinking, well, what do you mean that the APDS warhead is smaller than the casing in the charge? Well, think about it. The head is smaller, makes it lighter, but it's also it's made of material that it also makes it even lighter. When it's fired from this gun, this L1A1 gun, because it's lighter and more aerodynamic, it flies through the air quicker. Of course, in this game doesn't believe in realism and shit like that. Greg completely went back on his word, saying, "Oh, I want to keep this game realistic." Fucking bullshit. Who gives a shit? This tank is shit in this game. Okay, it is bad. The whole armor is completely broken. The toe armor is crap. The acceleration rate, oh god, don't get me started. It's not as bad as something like a T135. It is nearly there, but it's not, not that bad. 101. If I find something else, T10, yeah, has worse. IS3 has pretty good acceleration rate. But yeah, you can see where I'm going with this. That's crazy acceleration rate, 80. The E100, yeah, pretty abysmal. The Ferdinand 75, E50, pretty good acceleration rate. Indian Panther has pretty good acceleration rate. Leopard 1 has its acceleration rate been nerfed? So I'm pretty sure that was about 22, 23. That's 37. Anyway, this tank is completely broken. It was a mistake adding this tank in. The amount of crap you could do, people quit the game because of this. I mean, I don't use it anymore because the base reload for this is what, like 15, 17 seconds. I can reload this gun in 12, 13 seconds. Yeah. That's terrifying when you have 24 rounds of 76mm or no 57mm of anti-tank death. The RU-251. Get out of the way, thank you. The RU-251 has pretty low penetration for its 90mm gun. It's supposedly meant to fire APDS or APCR or something like that, but the penetration seems a bit lackluster. Lackluster. There you go. Little bit of a brain fart there. The acceleration rate is but hey. Back to the Conqueror. I really want this thing buffed. Really, I want this to be turned into a hold down god like the T-32 is. People keep on whining, saying that T-32 needs more armor. T-32 doesn't need more armor. The T-32 is already horrifically overpowered as it is. I mean, of course, a Leopard 1 is going to YOLO pen it because hey, who gives a shit? I mean, seriously, if you look at the T-32, its turret, right? If you're in like say like a Tiger 2 and you face this tank and it's hold down, shoot this bit here, this bit, or this bit. These are called the turret tubes. Shoot the turret tubes. Seriously. Actually, think about that. No, I was looking at the wrong thing. Don't shoot the turret tubes. 11-1 may spawn on this turret. I can't think of anything that's going to pen this turret. The Conqueror should be the exact same. The Conqueror in real life had a insanely powerful turret. 303mm on the turret, and I think it was 335 on the gun mantlet. It was insanity. And then, of course, when they put the composite screening on, they also updated the turret as well, if I'm correct. They made the turret like far stronger. I think it went from 303 to like 340mm on the turret, and then it's like 370 on the gun. I'm not entirely sure. If the Super Conqueror is added in, because Greg was saying, if the Super Conqueror is added in, then he's going to buff the Conqueror. But he hasn't added the Super Conqueror, even though people were begging him to add the Super Conqueror. He would not add the Super Conqueror. And now he's completely left Tankery. Like, he's not updating it anymore. He keeps on saying, oh, I'm going to add the Foch. But there's no... I mean, if you look at the French line, look, no Foch? No Foch? No? No M4A4. No. I mean, people could be saying, oh yeah, this is the normal M4A4, but it's not called the M4A4, it's called the M4FL10. Unless he's gonna rename it. He even said he was going to completely remove this, and he was going to remodel it. Hasn't happened. Yes, he's basically, if you shoot here, you're going to pen the LX50-100 every single time. Because it has no armor on the gunman. That is the gunman, man. MX-3090 is the same. The MX-3090 is actually a pretty powerful tank. The ARL, I have to say, is probably a bit too strong for tier 4. The DPM is a bit... but the shell velocity obviously has been nerfed. I mean, the shell velocity took a huge hit. Because when Greg let everybody test this out, this thing basically had no drop. No drop whatsoever. And then he nerfed it into the ground. It had something like, I think it had like 1900 DPM. It had the same penetration. I think it had better acceleration rate and better top speed. I think it had like 40 kilometers an hour. And then he nerfed it into the ground like hell. Like, holy shit, he nerfed it into the ground. But the Conqueror, I wouldn't recommend it, not in its current situation. I mean, there are far better tanks. Seriously, the Centurion 7-1 does the exact same job as the Conqueror. The only difference is that the Centurion can actually use its turret. Literally, I'm not even joking. It can use its turret. This gun mallet is fantastic. The Charioteer. I mean, look at the size of that gun on that. I mean, seriously. The Charioteer can do the same thing as it's basically a combination of the alpha damage of the Conqueror and the speed of the Century 7-1. But it has no armor. I wish that the Charioteer would actually have more DPM than the Centurion, because it has less armor, but I'm not in charge of the game. I'm not in charge of this game whatsoever. So I have zilch say in what goes in the game. I mean, he doesn't even give me early access to, the tanks. Even though people will keep on saying, oh, you need to ask me for early access. I know he's not going to give me early access because, hey, that's how it goes. But seriously, don't go for the Conqueror. Just go for, a really good pick. A tank that is horrifically overpowered right now. T125. This is by far one of the strongest heavy tanks in the game. This thing, I think, got overbuffed. This has been buffed. The turret used to be garbage at 127. It's now 203. What that means, look at the turret from the front. That's the gun mallet. You gotta remember that this entire bit here is the gun mallet. That's 254. It's sloped. If you try and shoot this, that's 203. That's sloped as well. Now, I've had a lot of players shoot me there and bounce off. I've bounced off the turret cheeks of the T120. This tank is horrifically overpowered. It's power creep. This tank has been injected with power creep juices. Like, seriously, like, this thing has an M58 gun. Like, holy shit, this thing is powerful. I may do the buffed T125 in the next video, but you never know, really. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop the video here. If you would like to put your comments into the comment section below, then feel free to. Anyway, I'm gonna see you later, and bye.